Hi, this is Brianna Brown, and this is my final reflection video where I will be answering the final questions. The first question is, what have I learned? I have learned so much through this course. I thought that in Dr. Schumacher's class, where we had to identify our cultural identity and write a cultural autobiography and look at our white privilege and, discuss a lot of those cultural concepts, and even Jansen's class, Education in America, where we had to do a lot of different activities, I thought that I was really learning my racial identity or my cultural identity. Now I feel like I'm definitely very aware of which development stage I'm at in regards to the identity racial stages. I also know that I've learned quite a lot about how to interact with people of different races or cultures, and that it's not a good idea to say that you don't see color, because when you say something like that, you're actually telling that person that I don't see your culture, I want you to be just like me, and I only want to see what I want to see, which I think is very oppressive, and I never thought of that as oppressive until this class. My perception has changed as a result of this course, that I really am more cognizant and completely aware of what's going on around me. Even in conversations with people, or how I interact with others, or what I even choose to say is completely different from the way that I used to speak with people. And not that I ever was, made unintentional racist comments or anything like that, but it was just interesting to me how now I see so many microaggressions that people say, how my Facebook feed is filled with people saying negative things. There was something that somebody posted the other day about Muslims, and it showed 9/11, and it said, how can I forget what the Muslims did? And it was like, it reminded me of thinking that it would almost be like comparing Christianity to the Westboro Baptist Church, which is a extremist group that claims to be Christian. Well, that one group that decided to crash into the buildings at 9/11 is not who represents Muslim or is the Islamic religion. So my perception is noticing the microaggressions that people say and how oppressing they really are in our world. How can I use the information garnered from this course in my professional counseling career? Knowing all this information, I can definitely help my students be a lot more aware of their cultural identity, but also more accepting of other cultural identities. Sometimes people are so unintentionally racist, like I guess I've learned I was in the past, but through this course, I've realized how important it is to show other students how to be aware of who they are and make sure that they understand microaggressions and why they can be considered so offensive. Now, a couple activities that have impacted me in a big way. The first one was the jelly bean activity, and I talked about this in my personal development paper. That activity really opened my eyes to the fact that I do not surround myself with people who are different from me. And I always thought that I was, a multicultural person, but I never really thought about it, and that activity really got me thinking. The last activity that got to me was the one about how many Jews were killed in World War II, in the Holocaust. That's always been something that I've loved learning about, because it is so horrible and so just life-changing. And I've been to the Holocaust Museum in New York, or DC, I can't remember which one, and it's just amazing the effect that it has on you. And so when we had to listen to how many beans filled the jar, it was definitely even more enlightening of how many people that was. So that's something that just reminded me how cruel the world can be just for being who you are. So with that said, I have really enjoyed being in your class, and I hope that I get to see you again and learn more about cultural identity and how to become a culturally competent school counselor. So thank you, and have a great summer.